Hey guys, Jonah here. Happy Easter to you, one and all. It's been a while. I've been a bit sporadic. You know how we roll. But I have been back on the beers. I did pretty well. I got up to about 70, 80 beers, something like that in March. We're in April now, Easter time. And yeah, I went to a beer festival. It was the Gads Easter thing. Um, we worked out because I was chatting with Andy from the Royston. Cheers, Andy, my friend. That they did 800 pints in 3 hours, give or take, which is absolutely ridiculous. But there must have been at least 350, maybe 400 people at Gads. We thought it was going to rain as well, and it didn't rain, which was cool. But yeah, by about 3 o'clock, just after 3 o'clock, they'd run out of all of their guest beers and they were just relying on Gads beers, which is absolutely ridiculous. But the reason I was over at Andy was because of the Cloudwater Chubbles. I've now done the whole of the Chubble week. Andy had them all on cask, which was absolutely ridiculous. So fantastic. And if you're about to go to the Royston, there is a new badge on Untapped that you can log in. I did so yesterday, and yeah, got up to level 2 now because I had 5 beers. Um, well, and sneakily, I had one twice, but shh, don't tell anyone because the Chubbles I put a 26 version, and because I stupidly in the pub after having a really strong beer, I logged in the just generic version, but the one I actually had was the 2026 one, so I put it through as that as well. So, but yeah, don't tell anyone. Um, while I was there, I picked up this bad boy, and this is what I'm gonna be reviewing today. Citra All 4 by Floc, and this is the middle one. This is gone all a bit freaky maliki. There we go. The 6.5% double dry hopped IPA version. There are 4 versions. I've had the normal version, the pale ale, double dry hop pale ale on cask, which is absolutely lovely. And the one I haven't had is the real bad boy strong one, which is the deeper version. Unless there's an even stronger one. Is there a triple? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm working my way up to drinking all 3. So let's see what it says on here. Citra All 4. It's the 6.5% double dry hopped IPA, DDH IPA, made with Citra, loads of Citra, T90 pellets, that's what that means, and Citra Cryo Hop, which is another extract, a liquid extract that they put in, which is ridiculous. So lots of Citra. Bright, expressive, double dry hopped IPA, spotlighting Citra, um, juicy grapefruit, ripe mango, soft lime, layered over a gentle haze, clean bitterness, and crisp drinkable finish. We shall see. It says it's drink cold, avoid the pregnant ladies, make sure you recycle the aluminium, all that kind of jazz. And for those of you that don't know Floc, the brewery, there we go, they used to be in Margate. They started life on an industrial estate in Margate, which is literally down the road from me. I can walk there. I have walked back from there many times, but that's usually because I've missed the last bus home, the loop. But then now their brewery is now in Canterbury, and sometimes they come back to Margate. And in fact, they have just opened. They have bought a pub called the Lifeboat, which was an infamous place. I quite liked it because it had music and it had some crazy events. The beers, though, were really expensive, and they still are. Floc is reasonably expensive brewery. However, um, yeah, I do like Floc. They just need to get some cask on because at the moment it's all through the draft and the systems and that kind of stuff. They might have key keg, not 100% sure, but they definitely don't have any cask beers, which you should get. Oh, the other thing that Andy gave me, so I bought this beer I got a discount as well because it was a takeout beer. Five quid. This one was a little bit more than I like usually paying because I'm a borderline skinflint. But yeah, I did in this case, and I got a discount. And Andy threw in, because he's such a nice guy, a Floc little tasting glass, which is absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Probably got some fingerprints on it. Obviously, that is not a pint glass. It is weird. Like, I looked at it, and if it continued down here, if it kept going, you probably could get a pint in there. But this is up to, I think it's up to a half. Yeah, so it's a half and a third glass. But thank you very much, kind sir. Um, I think he kind of gave me this because I was actually the first person to register the Untapped badge. So thanks for that, Andy. I said I'd bring it back to him, but he goes, "No, don't worry about it. You can have it." So I was like, "Thank you very much, kind sir. Saves me from nicking it." And I'm sticking to that story. No, I don't nick things. There we go. That is absolutely fantastic. And there we go. There is a Floc. If I move that out, my finger out the way, something like that. And that, if I've done it right, can be the cheeky photo on this video. So fantastic. So there we go. Look at that. Absolute creamy haze on that bad boy. I should have said what the ingredients are. I was so into the whole Citra thing, but let's see if we can get in there. Yeah, I thought so. We have definitely got wheat and oats in there. And that, as you well know, dear viewer, makes that creamy, cloudy kind of thing going on. Tiny bit, little floaty bits in there. I wouldn't be surprised. Or is that a bit of carbonation? Can't quite see. I need to get my glasses on, but I shouldn't really do that. So let's dive in. Lovely, fluffy white head too. Citra is a fantastic hop. It really is. I tell you what, though, is interesting for me because Citra, a lot of people think Citra is quite a new hop, but it isn't. It has been around for a long time. And I definitely think in the late 90s and 2000s, there were citrus beers available. Um, so it's been around 20 plus years, definitely. And I used to get a kind of Citra grassy thing going on, which I still stand by. People have come up to me and gone, Citra doesn't taste like that. It does if you use whole leaf hops, which is what we used to do. T90 pellets and definitely cryo hop did not exist back in those days. So when you're using an extracted version with really high alpha acids and beta acids and stuff in their oils, and the modern yeasts do things like isomerization and stuff like that. I'm not really a chemist, not these days, but yeah, that's why you get different flavors nowadays than you ever used to back in the good old days. Anyway, cheers and beers. Oh, yeah, you're definitely getting that juiciness, grapefruit, citrus. There is a bit of cream there too. I mean, it's quite a dry finish. I thought this might be a little bit sweeter, but it is an IPA after all. So it's doing all those kind of things that IPA should be doing. There is that grassiness, that green kind of grassiness, but it's really late. It comes late in the definitely in the finish of the beer, but it is there. But that juiciness is kind of borderline if you were going to do a Simcoe or something like that. But it's not kind of orange. This is definitely on the more kind of grapefruity side. Um, yeah, and that creaminess is there, but it's not a sweet creaminess. If this was the pale ale version, I can't remember exactly what review I did because when I'm in the pub, I don't usually do video recordings purely because it reads me loud. I have done sometimes, and I have done at beer festivals too. pardon me, but not while I'm judging, because that might give the game away, dear viewer. So yeah, let's go in for some more. Oh, I think maybe the other reason Andy gave me this glass is because I always love having my half pints, and this is a half pint glass as opposed to a full pint. And sometimes I have two going on at the same time, double fisted, as they say, or I say, and it confuses people sometimes. But yes, double fisted means you have two glasses in your hands. Hey, you've got two hands, but only one mouth. It's a real disappointment for me because I would be love to drink two beers at the same time. That is actually really, really nice. I'm liking that. 6.5%. That is. I was speaking to Andy actually, and he agrees with me on this. That it's kind of that sweet spot for IPAs. Definitely in line with kind of the American style. A big shout to American Mike, who's the home brewer that I've reviewed his home brews on this channel previously. But he is now doing some sneaky shifts at the Royston. So if you want to bump into him, if you're getting served by an American guy in the Royston, it's probably going to be American Mike. What I was going to say is, look at that. Look at the lacing on there. Absolutely crazy. It's a bit kind of trippy as well. I don't know if I can pull anything out there with regards to foam watch, but yeah, definitely a lovely amount of lacing on the glass there. Yes, this beer definitely sits within IPA standards, both with regards to BJCP style, camera style as well. 6.5%, it even says there. If it'll focus. Still probably looking for my face, but never mind. Yeah, that is a good place to be with regards to an IPA. If your IPA is less than 5%, it is not an IPA by any measure. People go, oh, what about session IPAs? What about micro IPAs? Well, they're not IPAs, basically. They're pale ales. Hoppy pale ales, perhaps. Mild pale ales, perhaps. But they are not IPA. I'd say that definitely starts around 5. Camera says it starts at 5.5. I can't remember off the top of my head where BJCP start, but when you get a 6.5% beer, Chamon, Deepers, and yeah, double IPA obviously is going to start sort of, I'd say about 8% probably. Oh, pardon me, bit of a good carbonation on that bad boy. Yeah, so Deepers and that kind of stuff start about that kind of, well, maybe 7.5, but 8% is a good place for a Deeper. So this beer, firmly within the IPA category, absolutely fantastic. However, if you go to the tap room, it can get quite expensive. I believe one of these version up is probably the double version. They were selling for like 13, 14 pounds for a pint. That is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you're buying it from the tap room. I'm not a skinflint, mind, but I actually looked up the duty paid on beer. And for a beer like this at 6.5, or a beer, a double IPA, such as an 8% beer, or even a 10% beer, the amount you only pay is probably about £1, maybe slightly more, maybe £1.10p of tax. And a beer like this will probably cost, I would say, between £1 and £2 if you're including everything like marketing and the brewery costs and everything. So it's no more than £3, including the tax paid, all the materials, everything, probably about £3. So selling it for like 15 quid or something, My God, that is an absolute rip-off, in my humble opinion. But hey, if they can get away with it, good for them. But you know what? I won't be buying it at that price. Mm. In fact, the strong Chubbles that was on at the Royston, uh, I think it was only about £10 a pint, which is quite a lot. You know, £10 a pint is a lot. Don't worry. I remember in the 80s, the late 80s, but still the 80s, you could still get a pint in a pub for £1, um, and it's gone up for 10, yeah, 10 times. My God, absolutely ridiculous. But when that pint costs, I would say between £2 and £3 for everything all in, and you're buying it from the tap room, which is at the brewery, and they're charging over £10. It's all profit for them. That's how they can buy pubs and things like that. So, hey, it's supply and demand. If you're not willing to pay it, don't buy it. That's the way I would go with it. But yeah, come on. Cheers to Andy for all those things. It's kind of starting to hit me, this 6.5% bit. So I'm going to finish this in a darkened room. But happy Easter to you all. And I will definitely be back with more beer reviews, more Unclejona nonsense, and probably more beers bought from my favourite place of all time, the Royston. So please come back, and come back real damn soon.